Testimony started today in the Delphi murders trial. Look at the line of people hoping for a seat in that small courtroom in Carroll County. Richard Allen is on trial today for the murder of Abby Williams and Libby German. The two teen girls went missing more than 7 years ago on the Monon High trail. Their bodies discovered the next day. Thanks for inviting us in at 6 o'clock. My colleague Anne-Marie Tiernan has been in Delphi all day. And Anne, we've got some new details in this case, starting with the opening statements this morning.
That's right. We had opening statements this morning, Scott, and then we had multiple people take the witness stand and provide testimony this afternoon. Now, we are so fortunate at WTHR that we have two team members who were able to get access to have firsthand accounts of what happened in court today. Bob Siegel and Emily Longnecker. Bob was there in the morning, Emily in the afternoon. They're joining us now with what they learned in court today, starting with you, Bob.
Well, we started with some gut-wrenching testimony. The most poignant moment of the day came from the very first witness. That was Becky Patty, which is Libby German's grandmother. She told jurors today about the last time that she saw her granddaughter. A morning that started with banana pancakes and telling Libby to put on a sweatshirt or jacket before Libby and Abby went to walk the trails by the Monon High bridge. She fought back tears as she told jurors, the last thing she said to me was, "Grandma, I'll be okay." She recalled trying to reach her granddaughter for hours. We kept calling, she told jurors. And then the hopeful moment, she learned Abby and Libby were found, that quickly turned tragic. Libby's grandmother broke down on the witness stand when she told jurors, "I couldn't understand why they weren't taking me to her. And then I saw the coroner's van driving by, and that's when I realized they were not alive." We also heard from Libby's sister and father as they explained the frantic search that took place late in the night in the woods with flashlights trying to find Abby and Libby. The jury listened intently during the entire process. Richard Allen, he was listening the whole time and taking notes on what happened. I was just behind him, just a few feet away in the courtroom. And Emily, you were right behind him as well, and you got to hear some different testimony.
Yeah, I heard from Abby's mother this afternoon, Anna Williams, and she teared up and paused when she was asked to describe her daughter. This was her only child. She told the jury that Abby was a kind and helpful girl, quiet and reserved around strangers, said that she wouldn't just go up to a complete stranger. And she says she last saw her daughter on Sunday when she dropped her off to spend the night at Libby's. And Monday, Abby called to ask if she could stay longer that day at Libby's, that they had off from school, if you'll remember, right? And Anna Williams testified she didn't know Abby was going to the Monon High bridge that day. And Anna Williams was at work, she says, when she got calls around 5:15, back-to-back calls from Becky Patty. And when she answered, girls had gone out for a walk in the woods. They were supposed to be picked up later that afternoon. They had not shown up. And so Anna then told her boss, "Look, I don't know what these girls are up to, but it's probably not that big of a deal. I'll probably be right back." And of course we know that didn't happen.
We really got the sense that the testimony that was offered by the state today was really to help the jury get to know Abby and Libby, and also the excruciating moments that the families went through in the days of and after the murders.
I thought one other thing that was poignant in one of these state's exhibits was that picture, that selfie of Abby and Libby in the car, in Libby's sister Kelsey's car right before they were dropped off. And there was Abby in the back seat. Her hair was in a messy bun, and it looked like Libby had taken the picture. And there was Libby in the front seat, in the front passenger seat, wearing a tie-dye shirt. And that's right before they were dropped off and ready to go on what they thought was going to be a wonderful day out in the woods. They had the day off from school, these young ladies, and they were going to, go and have an adventure. So.
And boy, oh boy, I think that testimony and what you're getting to there is really the heart of what my conversation was with this lady that I talked to today. Her name is Sarah Asbrock, and she has been working with a Facebook page here in this community, has thousands of followers, really from the very beginning, first to get search parties out and now really to continue to honor the memory. And she said, through all of this back and forth and legal wrangling, we can't just simply say, oh, closure. It's not that simple for parents that have lost a child.
Many times you'll hear the word closure. You'll never have closure, because when God gives you a child, He doesn't give you a handbook that comes along, well, if you lose that child or somebody takes that child, this is how you mourn. It's just another chapter that they turn and you go through, or another milestone that would have been missed. Because the girls would now be juniors now, I think, in college, possibly thinking about marriage and careers.
Yes, they would be young adults. They would be able to vote. They would be doing all the things that rightly you would hope for your child or for a loved one, and that was robbed for them because of these murders.
Yeah, and this really changed this community. I remember being here the night they went missing, and then all of these years later, and all the times that we've come back and spoken with people, they say, you know, before this happened, this was a quiet bedroom community. People slept with their doors unlocked. After this happened, everything changed. If you talk to the young people who would now be the age that Abby and Libby would be, they say that their lives changed too. Their parents were no longer willing to just let them out and be teenagers like they were used to being. After this, everything changed for this town and for the people who lived here.
And keep in mind, the jurors are not from this town. They are from Allen County. So the big part of today's testimony was to bring them in on the emotion that this community has been feeling, that the families have been feeling here over the last 7.5 years.
Yeah, and a lot of fear, because we were hearing from investigators that the person who's responsible might be hiding in plain sight, and that was really something that was terrifying for the people that lived here. So that's the latest developments from today. We're going to have more coverage as the newscast ticks on. For now, for Bob and for Emily, I'm Anne Marie. We'll send it back to you, Scott.
All right, Ann, thanks so much. And there's going to be so much happening every day for as long as this trial continues. We're going to be breaking down the testimony and evidence every weeknight at 10 o'clock. Our Delphi debrief will air over on our WTHR Plus streaming app. You can find it on Apple TV, Amazon Fire Stick, and Roku.